ano po,
How do you do that, the hearts?
yung react, sir.
Hindi ko alam yun, how to.
Sir, is it okay if we take a picture po for attendance na lang?
Sure, I usually take it lang. Pero hindi pa tayo, sige. Sige, kunin natin yung
Sige.
picture mo na. Sige, picture.
Sige po. I have to send it to the, ano po kasi resident din, sir.
Ganon. Dapat yung
Um,
residente mag-attend na rin dito.
Sige.
Sige.
Smile everyone. 1, 2, 3. Okay na po, sir. Sige,
Okay,
sir.
sandali.
Kung
Save
may
ko rin sa akin.
sasabihin pa.
Sandali, save ko rin sa akin.
Sige po.
Okay. Sige, let's have a quick feedback. What's your feedback on the session? Yun ang mauna. Unahin ka ba
Very
si Miguel?
comprehensive po, sir.
I don't think we have the same picture here, di ba? Arrangement. Sige. Bahala na kayo. Who wants to talk first?
Ano, sir? Usually, sir, what I like during the discussion, sir, is that we were able to discuss the different treatment modalities that we can offer to the patient, sir. It was good because at least it can broaden our knowledge, especially when we will become future consultants. So at least alam namin kung paano itimbang yung mga iba-ibang mga treatment modality para sa patients namin. Especially yung i-apply yung BRCA po, sir. Yun yung nakaganda, sir.
Okay. Yung framework na is applicable to all patients, ha? Okay. You agree? The patient management framework is not for surgical patients lang, ha? It's applicable to all. Okay, thank you. Okay, sino pa?
Okay naman po siya, sir. It's a lot different compared to the SGTs that we have before. Yung yung different yung framework, but then almost same concept. But this is more structural siya in terms of giving the best care po to the patient po.
Okay. So more efficient, no? Okay. More cost effective, efficient, no? Okay. Okay, anybody else?
For me, sir, very helpful, sir, yung framework since nakaka-help siya sa amin sa decision making, especially kung anong test na i-order. Parang sometimes may mga dilemma na na-encounter during pag-order, whether you would order a certain test. So for me, yung framework was, I think would be very helpful, sir, sa pag decide on these kinds of dilemmas, sir.
Okay. So remember that every patient that you encounter is a problem-solving decision-making, no? And not all patients are the same, no? They may have the same diagnosis, pero yung how to arrive to the diagnosis magkaiba, no? May proseso yan, no? And then how to make decisions on what diagnostic test to do because of the cost availability factors that have to be inputted, no? And also the treatment options. Ang lumalabas nito, bottom line, ultimately will be a patient-centered na treatment. Na? So you ask the patient, what do you want? Na? Ganon, na? And then, kung kaya niya, o ang availability, kung available, ganon. Na? Okay. So patient-centered. Na? So be wary, don't fall trap into the tinatawag na protocols, no? Standard practice, no? Those are just guidelines, no? Guidelines. Eventually, you can say these are the guidelines to the patient, but they are free to make some decisions, and you have to help them adjust, no, to what they really need, no? So you don't really have to follow exactly kung anong sinasabi ng guidelines, no? The most important thing that should be happening is that the patient is well informed of the pros and cons, the advantages, disadvantages, and then let them decide. no? As much as possible, no? Okay. So pag may ginawa kayong mga decision with your patient that deviate from the usual, huwag kayo matakot. As long as you have an informed consent, nobody will question you, no? Basta na-discuss ninyo. Huwag niyo i-dictate sa kanya kung anong dapat gawin, based on the protocol. Okay. Okay. Next.
For me, sir, sobrang madaling sundan yung process, sir. Kasi actually yung steps naman po dun sa process is ginagawa naman siya. Pero when you arrange it po or discuss it, parang simpler siyang intindihin. And alam mo yung next na gagawin. In reality, ginagawa naman po talaga siya, pero some of the steps minsan nakakalimutan natin. So it's really a good review sa amin din since next year magiging ano na kami full-fledged doctor after ano. So na kahit na magkaroon na kami ng maraming experience na wag namin kalimutan yung basic steps in managing a patient po. Sir.
Okay. So yung actually tama ka, ginagawa na, no? Pero yung mga students nalilito, di ba? Especially medical students, no? Even sa consultants, hindi sila uniform. Actually, when I came out with this framework, I made it, I spell it out, yung process. I spell it out, no? So I remember a comment of the kilala niyo si Magsano? The Euro consultants? Hindi pa niya namimit. Nico Magsano. So she was my resident before. Sabi niya, sir, paano yung nagawa yun? You came out with the framework that you spell out everything that what consultant should be doing. No? Ako, ni-spell out ko na. I know lahat ng mga consultants, yung nakikita pag they make decisions, may gut feel sila di ba? May gut feel, ay, sigurado ba ako rito? Ganun. So, I just spell it out, certainty or not certain, di ba? Okay. So on paper, it's really, I brought it out na you have to spell out your degree of certainty. Huwag yung 50-50, ha? Kadalasan ng practice is when you say degree of certainty 50-50. As a doctor, you have to stick out your neck and come out with an educated guess based on your experience. You won't be faulted for that, no? Okay. Based on your experience, ito ang aking ganon. And then the next time when you meet another patient, you can improve on your degree of certainty kasi more experience ka na. Itaas mo na lang yung degree of certainty. Okay. So thank you, Jam. So sino pa? Sino pang di pa nagsasalita? Si Dominic.
Hi, sir. Sir, so I like this style of SGD. It's different from the usual because in the usual SGDs, our only focus is mga CPGs and standards of care. Hindi masyadong iniisip yung preference ng patient. Which is important because in the real world naman, the patient's point of view is the biggest factor in making a decision, especially the way you deliver information to them, the way that you tell them about the benefits, risks, costs of diagnostics and treatment, as well as your recommendations. That's a very important part of decision making for the patient. Kasi wala naman po silang alam about CPGs or anything. You have to make it digestible for them. You have to help them. So that's what I like about this SGD, sir.
Okay, thank you. Digestible. Yeah, digestible for the patient. Then guide them, no? Pakita mo lang yung proseso mo, no? Okay, thank you, Dominic. Sino pa? Who has that spoken? Tapos na? Everybody has spoken?
No po, sir. What I like din po about the SGD is that meron din pong guide and structure on how to go about in terms of patient interaction and building your trust with them. And I think very important din po yung nabanggit niya na sa processing of data in terms of pattern recognition and yung prevalence. Kasi I think na may effect din po siya sa pagpipili ng diagnosis, sa pagka-finalize ng diagnosis later on, especially since na it differs dun sa specific demographic or population and epidemiology ng certain disease. Sa, like for example, sa Manila, as compared dun sa ibang provinces. But overall, sir, na-appreciate ko din po yung may guide and hindi lang po siya, mayroong specific set of structure and questions na kailangan pa kaming sagutan.
Okay, thank you. So yung sa diagnosis, stick to 1 and 2 or at most 3 lang, wag nang marami. Yung sa occult differentials, di ba? Kasi when you put a lot of things, parang you're not analyzing it into the most probable, second most probable. So tendency is to do shotgun diagnostic test already para lumabas yung diagnosis, no? So clinically, you can come out, actually kaya mo, even with your histopath diagnosis. Sabihin natin, nagsuspect ka ng cancer nito, most likely you'll say that the most common is papillary CA. So you can stick out your neck that if this is CA, this is papillary CA. A lot of times, mga clinicians nagre-criticize na you cannot come out with a histologic, pathologic diagnosis. You just wait for the pathologist to give you the report. No, you can, no? As a clinician, you base it on prevalence. If this is CA, most likely you said this is papillary CA. So that's a histologic diagnosis. Pwede, no? Okay. So come out with 1 and 2, most probable based on pattern recognition. Kung pare-pareho yung mga symptoms nila, parang yung sa COVID, di ba? Yung flu-like symptoms before the COVID set in. May COVID, ngayon, nung pumasok yung COVID, by prevalence, COVID ang unang sususpetsa mo. Okay? Tama? That's an application of the prevalence, no? Nawala na yung COVID, nag-die down na, I don't know, ano bang gano'ng kataas pa yung we go back to the flu. The moment you have flu-like symptoms, sabihin natin, flu na yan, I don't know. Sa ngayon, baka 50-50 pa, no? So, pag nag-die down na yung COVID, no? So, you go back to the flu as your primary diagnosis, no? Okay. So, that's an example, an illustration of the application of the prevalence, no? Okay. So, okay, it's di na ako lalampas ng 12 o'clock. I promise you. Okay. So pakisagot na lang yung olete, tapos na ninyo. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I hope you get a perfect score. Then I'll give you the certificate. No? Okay. So there are no more questions. Let's call it a day. Thank you for listening. Thank you. It's an honor for me to teach you. No? Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Likewise din,
you.
sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much
Happy
po,
lunch po, sir.
sir.
Thank you po.
Okay.